Welcome in, everybody, to the PHNX Suns pregame show presented by Gila River Resorts and Casinos. We are out here at the Wild Horse Pass Casino and Hotel, and it is absolutely delightful. We had dinner at one of the restaurants here. It was bomb.
It
I was actually really excited about it. It was so good.
Yeah, we can't mention the name because Max will rip us a new one, but yeah. It was fantastic.
It was.
Wait, it's part of the family at Gila River. We can mention it. Yes, it is. Yeah, we're allowed to.
What's Ling and Louie's? It was fantastic.
It was bomb.
Check
it was
it out.
super delightful. And now we're upstairs getting ready for our watch party. We got people trickling in. If you are in this side of town, on this side of town, come hang out. We'll
East
be here all
Valley,
game.
baby. Let's go.
I mean,
We only have like a 20-minute drive home.
This time, but let's do it.
I know. I have the long commute
Thank
now.
God.
This is awful. I don't remember signing up for this.
Oh, how the turntables.
I'm Lindsay. That's Salt. That's Espo. And tonight the Phoenix Suns are going to be taking on the Utah Jazz. But first and foremost, before we get into that, we do have to address the elephant in the room. Bradley Beal is hurt. And the Suns announced today that Bradley Beal will be out and reevaluated in 3 weeks as he continues to rehab a low back strain. This timeline was determined following further evaluation and consultation on his injury. So they're officially calling it a low back strain. And 3 weeks, y'all. How you feeling?
I'm okay. I said this the other day. I'd rather them pull him out and make sure he gets 100% healthy. I'm a little surprised that it took him this long to get an MRI done. I don't know what the hell they were doing the first couple weeks of the season. That should have been done already. But it seems like maybe the 3 weeks is, they'll reevaluate, but it seems like they have at least an idea of what he's having to deal with, and it doesn't sound like it's structural. So that's kind of a positive sign. Suns Twitter handled it with the most epic decorum.
Yeah, the je ne sais quoi that they usually
do. It was well-mannered. It was reasonable takes all the way across the board.
Nobody was losing their mind.
Nobody was panicking. Nobody was saying this is a lemon that got traded to us. Nobody was panicking.
So I'm not a doctor. I know that comes as a big surprise. But I, purely speculating, I think he strained it in the last game he played. Remember how hurt he looked right before halftime, and he was leaning on the scorer's table? I think he had something lesser, and he hurt himself, and then they let him play that second half, and that's where I think we get the strain and why now he's out. He's not going to be reevaluated for 3 weeks. That doesn't mean he's back. So.
I feel like he's been stretching out that back the entire season.
Yeah, no, I agree, but there's no way they wouldn't have done their due diligence and done MRIs and checked out all the things ahead of time that since he missed the beginning of the season.
Yeah, I'm not saying
There's no way.
I'm not saying he didn't have a hurt back, but you can hurt it worse, when you come back and, it's already weak and then you strain something. To me, that's what this situation feels like because that was the last time we saw him and now all of a sudden you shut down for 3 weeks and that was a lot of pain he looked like he was in right before halftime when he came into that game.
I would just like to believe, and this might just be wishful thinking, but I would like to believe that the Suns didn't rush Bradley Beal back because they should have learned their lesson with Book. Wasn't that right before, literally the week before?
Yeah. I mean, I don't know what's going on, but listen, I think this is the right move. You got to make sure he's 100% healthy before he comes back. There's no sense in rushing him back. And I think they're less pressured to bring him back when they have Devin Booker on the floor with Kevin Durant as opposed to Kevin Durant by himself. I think that was a factor to some degree. So now they got Devin Booker and Kevin Durant. Those two can easily beat anybody in the league. So here we go.
Well, and for me, and I think I briefly said this the other day, I don't care what your record is in October, November, and December. If that mattered the utmost in the NBA, the Suns would have as many banners as the Celtics. Everybody would think that the Phoenix Suns were the greatest franchise ever, but it does not matter if you start as the best team in the league. What matters is those 16 wins from April through June, and that's when this team needs to be at their peak. So if it takes till January, early January, to get Bradley Beal right, to get him feeling where he's comfortable be out there, and for this team to be peak what we hope they can be, fine. Let him rest.
So this is game number 12. Yeah? Okay.
Uh-huh.
You remember who was 10-2 last year in game number 12? The Utah Jazz.
Yes.
Hey.
And they only won like 34, 35 games last season because, like Espo said, the beginning of the season just does not matter. So let's fix the problems. Let's make sure everybody's healthy for April, May,
make it
and
worse.
June possibly. That's the only thing that matters.
Yes. And like we all had collectively agreed that we weren't going to freak out no matter how long it took, regardless of who it is, of the big three. We were just going to give them the time that they needed to get fully healthy because that's the right thing to do. So don't forget we made that pact already. And if you weren't here for it, well, this is your initiation into it. You don't really have a choice at this point. Let's take a look at the rest of the Suns injury report. Obviously, we mentioned Bradley Beal. Devin Booker and Drew Eubanks were probable coming into this game, but they are both available. And then on the Jazz side, Walker Kessler is out.
Yeah, I love Drew Eubanks with low back, the soreness. I'm like, bro, what is going on with the lower backs, guys? Come on.
I know. Gosh. These guys just need to get it together.
Yeah.
Some people were saying it was because he was snatching Cat's soul. Other people were saying it's because he launched that three. His body wasn't used to that.
That's a lot of weight.
Just a very weird motion for him to do that. Hey, by the way, shout out to Tashi D, who's in our chat. She has been a staunch defender of the Suns fans who love Book and love KD, but have been taking hate. So shout out to you. Thank you for being out there fighting the good fight. We appreciate you.
Absolutely. All right, guys. So when it comes to starters for tonight's game, they're going to roll with the same starters they did last game. So we've got Devin Booker, Grayson Allen, Eric Gordon, Kevin Durant, and Yusuf Nurkic. If there is one saving grace to having one of the big three out, and that being Bradley Beal and or Devin earlier in the season, is that we've got a lot of guys who can fill in those spots for either of them if they do have to miss time. And we're seeing that with Grayson Allen and, of course, Eric Gordon as well. So that's one silver lining. You can find a positive in it.
Yeah, I think you run the same script you did last game, where you go 6 minutes with both, then 6 minutes with one, and then 6 minutes with the other one, and just keep repeating it because it worked so well last game. You hope it works again tonight. And I know they'll probably give Devin Booker a few more minutes tonight than they did the last game. But listen, the Suns should beat the Utah Jazz, and my bets will prove it.
Look, this is why you make a move to get more depth. When they traded he who shall not be named to Portland, everybody forgets about the part where they got Grayson Allen. And in part, that was insurance in case this kind of stuff happens. And so now Eric Gordon also comes in on that minimum, and you got two guys that can step in different roles and different capacities here. We should be very thankful that they made those two moves later in free agency and into training camp there, right before training camp, because where they would be without those two guys, I don't even want to think about it. You think people panic now. Without those two guys, they'd be in a much worse place right now.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, so we have a couple super chats here. Frank sent us one and said, with Beal out, the team will continue to step up. They will, and they'll build more chemistry. They'll be used to being asked to play more than what we initially expected from them. So if this does occur down the line, they'll be ready for that because they'll have the experience to be able to handle that and move into a starting role if they need to, or play a different role or whatever. Like, there could be positives that potentially come from this if you just are looking for a silver lining or trying to be optimistic tonight, which I am. And then Psycho Blue also sent us one. Thank you, Psycho Blue. Said Manning, Penny, Beal, get well soon, Brad. Also, Espo tempted fate by saying all he feared was injuries. Basketball God said, hold mine.
Why do people think I have some actual power in any of this crap that I say? If I did, the world would be a better place. There'd be all sorts of things. The Suns would have many titles if I had any kind of power.
Listen, you're not alone, because Gaines in the chat earlier said Lindsay and Gerald jinxed the big three by talking about it so much. I don't think I'm the jinx.
Who didn't talk about
To be honest with you, of all the people
We're just-
associated with PHNX, I think I'm the least jinx.
Well,
of them
also,
all.
like, what are we supposed to talk about? You know,
We
like,
were supposed to talk about Met too.
there's the basketball game. There's players out
He
there.
bounced the ball. He bounced the ball.
I mean,
he bounced it
basically,
again.
that's basically against what. Listen, I mean, stop. Just stop.
All right, so it's another in-season tournament game tonight for the Suns and the Jazz. Saul, I know you sent in some standings for us to look at. You want to break this down for
Yeah,
us?
check this out. So the in-season tournament, Lakers are at the top of the standings at 2-0, along with the Utah Jazz at 2-0. This is the wrong graphic, but our producer Eric is going to get the right one up here in a second. Go ahead, Eric. Take your time. Get the right one up there. Why not? We're used to this, right, folks? We've been down this road before.
Yeah.
The numbers are always a challenge for my man Eric, but that's okay. We're going to get it right. And we'll go through
He's
the standings
probably
here in a
like, "Wait,
second.
which one
That's
is
cool.
it?
Yeah.
Wait, which one is it? I thought that was the
No,
right
No,
one.
that's not the one.
Should we?
That's the one right there.
Should we
Is it
just,
not what was up there?
No,
no.
All right, we'll
Should-
read it off of this.
Should we just explain
Okay,
some of the
that's the
in-season
wrong
tournament stuff?
That's the one you said
Look-
was the right one.
Look, so tonight's another group play game, and it's pretty simple. We'll look at the point differential when Rudy gets it up here, but honestly, tonight is an important game, just pure record-wise, because the Suns can't afford to drop to 0-2 in group play. It basically will mathematically eliminate them, and here we
go.
there.
All right, so like I said, the Lakers and Jazz are 2-0. Portland's 1-1. We're 0-1, and the Grizzlies are they are eliminated out 0-3. So right now, if you're the Suns, you're basically looking at tonight's game. It's a must-win. Number one. Number two, that point differential is very, very significant because if you're going to be that at-large team, so basically the fourth team, you have to overcome not only the Utah Jazz, and if you beat them by 10, 20 points tonight, obviously that point differential will go down for them and go up for you. But also you got to worry about the other side of the conference or the other division as well. But there's nobody over there that was, at least at this current moment, above like a plus 14. So the Suns, all they have to do is not only win, but they have to keep the pressure on and make sure that their point differential will outperform anybody else's.
And this is where a fourth quarter backslide, even like last game, where they didn't lose, but that lead that they had 28, and in the 20s for most of that game, backslid a little bit. This is a game where you don't want that to happen because those points matter so much here to actually move on in this tournament. It's a slim chance right now.
Yeah.
Because they have to go 3-0 in the remaining 3 games, and then they have to win big in at least a couple of those. I think I'm not
they
booking
should
my
be
tickets
able
for
to
Vegas.
win all 3 of those games, but then when you bring in the tiebreaker type stuff, that could potentially be a tough one.
Well, yeah, because the only way you can win the group, I believe, is if the Lakers lose their remaining games and you win your remaining games. Because
Yeah.
you're both 3-1, since you lost the head-to-head, you lost.
Yeah.
So.
So there's basically no chance.
Well, that's a bummer. But I guess if we're dealing with injuries, maybe it's not a bummer that we may not play the extra game.
Yeah.
Even though I'm sure a lot of the guys on this team would be a little bit bummed to miss out on a $500,000 paycheck or a bonus.
Yeah.
Considering a lot of them are on Betman.
Yeah, but then you consider the taxes you got to pay, and then what's really $275,000 anyways,
I mean, I suppose. At our takeover on, what's today, Friday?
Yep.
Wednesday. At our takeover on Wednesday, I was asking a bunch of the people out there what the thoughts were on the in-season tournament courts. After seeing the Suns in action, what did you guys kind of think about how bright it was?
I liked it.
Yeah,
You were fine with it from a viewing
I had
perspective?
zero issues with it.
Yeah, I don't. There's some of them that I've seen on TV that you're like, yeah, this is a monstrosity. But the Suns one I liked. Tonight's in Utah is nice as well. It's a double purple, which I kind of wish that had been what the Suns looked like. But it's a good looking court too. So I think they got it right in these 2 cases. But there have been some atrocious ones. But I saw the Hornets one tonight. It's pretty nice.
Yeah, and San Antonio's one is really nice as well. I think, is that the game right here that we had on?
Yeah,
I love that San Antonio one.
I think it's an atrocity,
really
but only because it looks like they have a sun at center court, and I don't understand.
That'll give you, but color-wise, I think it looks good. Yeah. I am a little bit concerned about all the red, like the ones that are majority red. I feel like that one will be kind of hard to sort of watch. I don't know. That one seems like it's just not ideal.
Red's never good for TV.
Yeah, no, I didn't like that one very much.
Raptors have like a gray that they're playing on tonight in those gold jerseys. I'm interested to see what that looks like.
Well, listen, guys, if you go to any game this season, whether that's Coyotes, Suns, you name it, our friends over at Illegal Pete's want to hook you up. If you have tickets to a game this season, head to Illegal Pete's before or after any ticketed event and score a house margarita or draft beer for a single penny with their Sound Check promo. So make sure you guys check them out. They are located on Mill Ave in Tempe. Fantastic food, fantastic drinks, even better vibes. And also, while you guys are out this upcoming week, we've got Thanksgiving, we've got Black Friday. Our friends over at Shady Rays are doing an amazing sale for Black Friday as well. So Shady Rays is currently in their biggest sale of the year for Black Friday. So don't miss out on the best deals for shades, snow goggles, and prescription sunglasses as well. You can find them at shadyrays.com and try for yourself the shades rated 5 stars by over 250,000 people. I've joked about this, but I'm telling you, Christmas is literally right around the corner. Start shopping now to make your own life easier and get better gifts too, because last minute gifts, we can always tell.
6 weeks, I believe, from now. Hey, can I throw out something new?
Yeah.
Here? I want to do this. I want to help my people in the Discord. You guys are always there for us. So I am going to name my yeasty boy of the game, right? And the fan that I want to recognize from our Discord. And tonight it's Don's Bread who gets the first shout out, the man who made bread happen here. And this is brought to you by our friends over at Hero Bread. Right now, Hero Bread is offering listeners 10% off their first order. Just go to hero.co, use the code PHNX to save on Hero Bread today. That's hero.co to save 10%. And guess what? Actually, Don's Bread, you're getting free bread. Just DM me your details, not in a creepy way. And I'm going to make sure that you get a loaf of that Hero Bread delivered directly to you. Thank you. We'll name another one next pregame.
He's going to be so excited.
A loaf for a loaf. How about that?
All right. We talked about the courts, but what are the guys wearing tonight, Espo?
Yeah, this is an interesting matchup because I actually think I like the Jazz's uniforms better.
Purple on a purple court.
That's going to be tough.
People were questioning that with the Suns too, though, and that one didn't look too bad because they're different varieties of purple.
I don't know how different the variety of this purple is to the court because it's a two-tone purple court. So that will be interesting. I always do love the Association Edition white with the purple burst for the Suns, but I do love this city edition for Utah, the throwback with the mountains and the purple. It's it's a uniform that makes a lot of sense there in Utah. So.
Yeah. All right, who you guys got tonight and by how much?
I have the Suns by 11 for a specific reason.
Okay.
I have the Suns by 7 for a specific reason.
I have the Suns by 6 just because it's a number, and Gerald has the Suns by
Just because it's a number.
6. Ha, ha, ha. It's a number.
No, I actually went above because our friends over at BetMGM and the favorite. I think they have the Suns at a, -5.5, something like that?
That is correct.
That's why I picked 6.
Look at Lindsay stealing my thunder on the
there you
favorite.
go.
Yes, it is 5.5 favorite for the Suns.
You feel like this is fair?
Yeah.
Yeah? Okay. We have a super chat from Joe. Joe said, so I feel a win for you today. Let's go. I don't know what that is about. Do you think it's your bet?
Yeah, of course it's my bet.
Sure?
Listen, the people are starting to rally around
-110?
Not only
Unbothered?
not only on my bets, but also, ladies and gentlemen, I finally won a poll.
Bro!
I came from behind and I finally won a poll. Thank you to all of you who the intelligent people that voted for Saul. I appreciate you.
So if you missed yesterday's show, we did a draft. We drafted our favorite rivalry / just like beef that people have. And you even got a little bit upset because it was like a rivalry / beef. So it didn't have to just be like a full blown rivalry because sometimes people have parameters around those.
Yeah.
And then you ended up winning.
Yeah.
Look at you go.
I mean, I had some legendary matchups.
You did.
I mean,
You did.
I also tanked so you could get the win.
Sure.
I didn't want people to think we had beef anymore. I wanted to help you out.
Oh,
so.
I should have picked the Saul Espo beat.
Oh, yeah.
That would have been a good one. I bet you I would have won if I picked that one.
It's almost in the same vein as Tupac and Biggie, but, you know.
Oh.
Yeah.
I guess I would be Tupac in this scenario.
Hey, is that a shot at my weight? Jeez.
No,
I see how it is.
But yes,
Who
shout
are
out
Tupac
to you.
and Biggie?
Oh, my God.
Oh, God. Maybe you can keep your winning streak alive, Saul. What are you putting your money on tonight?
All right, folks, let's go. Daddy needs a win.
Oh, God.
Let's go. I got a 6-leg parlay at plus 800. I got the alternate spread at minus 10.5 for the Suns. I got Markkanen with over 23.5 points. And then I have a PRA of Devin Booker and Kevin Durant, both each with a plus, with 35 plus. Devin Booker with 4.5 assists at least, and Kevin Durant with 2.5 assists. Devin Booker and Kevin Durant, every game this season, have not had less than a 40 PRA. So, guys, not tonight, okay? Just keep doing what you've been doing, all right?
I think the alternate point spread might be the toughest on there.
I figured because they know they have to ramp up the points if they want to make the in-season tournament, it's to my benefit. So hopefully
Maybe,
that's
but KD literally was talking today about how they don't really care about it. It's just kind of like we're in game mode.
They all say they don't care until they get on the court and they care.
I have selfish reasons why I said that I don't think your alternate point spread will hit because of my bet tonight. I have the Suns winning by 6 to 10 points tonight at plus 425.
Oh, how exciting. All right, so Flex has a 6-leg parlay. He's got the Suns winning, Eric Gordon with 10 points, 10 or more points, Yusuf Nurkic with 8 or more rebounds, Devin Booker with 30 or more points, Kevin Durant with 20 or more points, and D-Book with 10 or more assists.
He's got the D-Book
at
double-double.
Plus 1850.
That 10 plus assists is
That's
that's going to be a tough one. That's going to be a tough one.
especially if they pull away in this game. He may
Yeah.
not hit the minutes.
But plus
necessary.
1850.
That's
That
good
wouldn't
odds.
be too bad for him.
I mean, hey, listen, he gets a significant lead
he does.
if he hits that for sure.
That's not a bad one. And then for me, I did a nice little safe bet again.
Is that a plus sign or
Yeah,
a minus?
it is.
It is
Hey,
a
a
plus sign. It's a 4-leg parlay for a plus 115. I have the Suns winning, Devin Booker scoring 20 or more points, Kevin Durant making 1-3, and the Suns team points over 117.5.
I love it.
So
I like it.
I'm just trying to like slowly climb up that ladder, just 1 inch at a time, okay?
Stack some wins. By the way, Nate says if you call yourself daddy again, he's unsubscribing. So.
I mean, Nate, I subscribe to that, Nate.
I can't unsubscribe. I'm contractually required. So.
Hence why I always make some sort of a sigh whenever you do that.
I mean, it's Drake. You know what I mean? Daddy's home. Let's go.
I don't know about that.
Daddy's home.
If you guys want to get in on the
Daddy's
action or
home.
take some of these bets, make some of these
Daddy's
bets for
home.
yourself. Sign up for BetMGM using bonus code PHNX. You can place your first BetMGM Sportsbook wager through the BetMGM Sportsbook mobile app of at least $10, and you will receive $200 instantly in additional winnings, regardless of your wager's outcome. So it's a win-win no matter what. You can check out the show notes for full details. And now you can listen to Shane talk about the disclaimer.
Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Colorado, D.C., Illinois, Indiana, Kansas, Louisiana, Maryland, Mississippi, New Jersey, Nevada, Ohio, Pennsylvania, Tennessee, Virginia, West Virginia, Wyoming. Call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369 New York. Call 1-800-327-5050 Massachusetts. 21 plus to wager. Please gamble responsibly. Call 1-800-NEXT-STEP Arizona. 1-800-BETS-OFF Iowa. 1-800-270-7117 for confidential help Michigan. 1-800-981-0023 Puerto Rico in partnership with Kansas Crossing Casino and Hotel. Visit BetMGM.com for terms and conditions. U.S. promotional offers not available in D.C., New York, or Ontario.
So what does the leaderboard look like here for us right now? I think I'm sitting a little pretty as far as just being in the lead, but not by much. I have $19.59 to my name. Then Flex coming in second with $7.45. Espo, you're in third, down 67.50. And Saul, you are minus 110 unbothered.
I have not won a bet all season, and I'm still undeterred. It's time to turn this ship around like the Titanic should have.
That's Lord.
Yeah, it's embarrassing. Kind of.
A little bit. I'm not going to lie. But it's not as embarrassing because I think we all kind of struggled with the injuries that we've had to deal with, figuring out exactly how we want to bet on this team. Because I've only won 2. So it's not like it's that crazy. I think Flex has won 2 as well. Espo, you've won 2.
I won 1.
So, I mean, it's like, as much as we like to talk trash to you about being minus 110, you're really not that far off from, like, our records.
Yeah.
What we're saying is don't take our advice, all right?
I'm gonna get on a roll. I'm going to get on a heater eventually, and then watch out.
What we're saying is things are just a little bit tough right now because we are all still trying to figure out exactly what this team does night in and night out.
Yeah, and you're right, because I haven't made a bet that I've actually like really felt good about.
Yes.
Like not all season. All 11 bets, I made a bet and I'm like, man, I guess, I hope. So that's coming. It's coming.
And then once they get into a groove, then we will figure things out. Like if you go back to last year, I mean, it started with the Crowder's Cash Club. Like Jay Crowder always took the first shot.
Yeah.
Last year, if campaign started, inevitably he took the first shot. Now, did he make them all? No, but he took that shot. So it was a fairly decent bet. And like we knew where Book kind of was at from points, rebound, and assists. And so we're just kind of getting it all figured out again with the new guys that we have on this squad. Like we're learning them just as much as they're learning each other.
The only bet I've gotten right this year was one that didn't involve a player. It was that somebody will score in the first 17.5 seconds of the game. That's the only one I've gotten right. And every other bet had a player involved. That's why I went straight just alternate point spread today because I don't want anything to do with any of the players right now and trying to figure out how this is all going to work with them because they don't even know yet out there in the court.
All right, so a couple things out of the chat. Timothy has quite a few questions that I am going to answer here, or we're going to answer. So the first one, Timothy said, is Beal tradable, or is his no-trade contract still active? So a lot of people were asking this and like clamoring or wanting for Beal to get traded or whatever on Twitter when the news came out. He still has that no-trade contract on his contract. So he waived it with the Wizards to come to the Suns, but it was not removed, which I think was a misconception even this offseason when the deal happened, that a lot of people were like, oh, well, he waived it. It means he doesn't have it anymore. But no, it was just for that one move to come to the Suns.
But we don't even have to go to that point because nobody's trading for an injured player that has a repetitive back injury because he had this injury in Washington.
And getting paid as much as
and getting paid as much as he. Nobody's going to do it. So, like, people were like, oh, we got to trade him. I'm like, dude, good luck. I got a better chance seeing actual Santa Claus coming down my chimney than I do watching Bradley Beal get traded this season.
Yes. So let's just like remove that from any thoughts. It's not going to happen, so don't waste your time on it. And then these ones are just kind of random, but I feel like I'm going to answer them because why not? So first and foremost, Timothy said, why is Lindsay gothic? I'm entering my goth era, okay? Like I didn't get to go full into it when I was younger, and now I want to. So we're just trying some new things.
Basically, the Suns held her back.
They did. Now I'm just leaning all the way into it. I have 2 pairs of Docs right now that I just got my hands on. Like I'm super excited.
Showing up to the arena and you're like just fully gothed out and what the Suns would have said.
Just wait until I have crazy black eyeliner on in a few months. God. It'll be exciting.
I want the nose ring with the chain that goes to the ear.
I might get that too. You never know. We'll see. And then Timothy also said, who's Chelsea? I don't get it. LOL. So we do have a lot of new faces this year. So Chelsea is my alter ego. And I don't remember who gifted me this name in the chat. But I said something that really made them upset. We were kind of like, not in a bad way, but just like a normal like disagreement kind of way. And so they were going off on me in the chat and they kept calling me Chelsea. And I was wondering if they were calling me Chelsea to be like extra mean, like adding insult to injury, or if they genuinely thought my name was Chelsea and just had it off. And then when I called it out, they were like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. And then it just became this really funny joke. And now that's the alter ego. And when I'm mean, that's who Chelsea is, basically.
Because you weren't being a Karen.
No.
You were being something different. Way more aggressive, mean, spirited. And so we had to name that. So,
that's one way to put it.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
It was just a little sassy. That's all. So that's the inside joke. It's funny. I don't know. I think it's hilarious. Some
I
of
love
you
it.
guys think it's hilarious,
love
so
it.
we're going to continue to ride with it.
My wife wants you to get black nails, by the way.
That's
She
the
said
only
in the
color that I
chat.
normally paint my nails when I do paint them, but I will paint my nails black. Maybe next week. We'll see. Just like leaning on into this. Any final thoughts about tonight's game, the Suns and the Utah Jazz?
Take care of business early. Just
Let's see some good basketball. I'm
Yeah.
ready.
All
Let's do
right.
it.
Well, you guys can watch this game on Arizona's Family Sports. All you need is an antenna to watch it, and you can find them at local retailers or online. They have indoor and outdoor ones as well. And wherever you live in Arizona, you can visit azfamily.com and click Suns Games for listing information for your area. AZ Family is a great resource to help you find Phoenix Suns games on Arizona's Family Sports.
You know what's a real cool trick that Espo taught me yesterday?
What?
That you can go into your some houses you can go into your attic and plug in your antenna in the attic, and it automatically goes to all your outlets in the house.
Does it?
So then that way, if you have 10 TVs mounted on a wall, you can still watch local channels. That's for somebody out there that said they couldn't put an antenna on all 10 of their TVs. And I was like,
Wait. So you just put it in like a normal outlet in the attic?
well, no. So you put it in the attic. You connect it to the cable cord wires in your house, and then you can plug it into the boxes that convert it to HDMI.
That's
Look at
smart. Does it have to be a newer house or an older house to work for that too?
You got to have an attic.
If you have an attic and you have
Wiring?
cable? Coaxial
Okay.
cable in your house, I'm pretty sure it can be
Yeah,
done.
don't just go up into the
Nice.
attic and just hope and pray
All
that
you have to
something
do
happens.
is just set
I
it
don't
in the
get
attic.
it.
You don't even have to turn it on. I feel like I would kind of think something like the younger generation who've never dealt with antennas. I get it, okay? I would probably think the same thing. I'm just going to put it in there.
But we've never dealt with these kind of antennas, so that's not really a good cop-out.
Hey,
But
I
you
stuck that
understand the
box.
premise of an antenna.
Back in the day,
Yeah, you had to do, like,
it wasn't even a
actual, like,
cable. It
things.
was like this two-pronged thing that you had two screws on that you had to tighten up the
Yeah,
screws.
it was like
So-
like a pointer.
Yeah, you had to like bend it. Yeah, it was just dumb.
It was fun. All right. Well, thank you guys for hanging out with us for the pregame show. Don't forget to join us for the postgame show right after this one wraps up. We'll see you then. Bye.
We all silly like the mayor.